now at Delacroix Island with Captain Randall Shaw. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
How long have you been down here?
I've been down here full time now, 5 years.
5 years. You've seen a lot of change going on.
Yeah, I have. I've seen a lot.
We're at Lake Lery.
Right.
And I understand there's a lot of dredging right where we are?
Yes, there's a project going on right now. The Army Corps is just finishing up. What we're looking at is basically Canal diversion is on the top side of Lake Lery. That's where they've been pumping all the sediment through from out the river. It's controlled diversion. Over the years, Lake Lery has gone from 8 feet to 3 feet. 4 feet, so somewhere in that area.
So there's a lot of sediment coming into Lake Lery.
A lot of sediment coming into Lake Lery. And what they've done is Army Corps put out a contract to actually take the land that ended up in Lake Lery and dredge it up and throw it up on the banks, and that's what we're looking at here.
So all this ridge, everything, the pipeline we see is still here?
Yeah, that's all from the dredging. They're just finishing up the project as we speak.
Fish tend to want to be around an island.
Yeah, the marsh, the points and pockets and all that is where the fish want to feed at. They want breaks and currents. Eventually we're going to lose what we have. Needless to say, it goes as a chain. The fish have fins and the fish can swim around. The oysters can't. So that's where it kind of starts. Those are the guys who are going to lose first. Then it'll go up the chain. You know, from what I've talked to crabbers and stuff, local crabbers that we deal with, they've kind of already switched their pattern of where they go. The speckled trout are more, salt dependent. Year after year, we're seeing less and less in one area, more and more in another area where it's saltier, further away from these freshwater diversions. The redfish thrive more in fresh water, but if we lose the banks, pockets, ponds, we're eventually going to lose those.
So you have to do a lot of adapting right now as a charter fisherman. But I understand you guys are doing a great job because we also have tourism coming in New Orleans, and Delacroix is a great place to fish.
Yes, Delacroix, I mean, we're really thriving on our fishing right now, but we have to look at the future a lot too.
I saw you guys have built a phenomenal lodge, and that allows people that are coming in for the conventions, whoever want to have a corporate retreat, to come down to Delacroix. And I used to come down with my dad. So I mean, a lot of us in Louisiana have a connection to Delacroix and Shell Beach. We have to morph a little bit, and you guys have figured out a way to do that.
Yeah, because when we're so close to downtown New Orleans, we've partnered with a lodge and built up a big complex here, and it was part of the conversation when we built it of, is this place going to be here? Is this worth the investment? They're trying to build coast, they're making some progress, but I still don't think they're even at a level where they're keeping up with the loss that they're putting back, let alone catching up. And that's where the big issue comes in.
They've got a lot of challenges on hand to do
that.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing some great work here. I mean, this is really good for Lake Lery in this, but this is such a small portion of what the problem is. I mean, this will never keep up with the losses.
Right now, are we on a canal?
Yes, we're on a pipeline actually. This is a pipeline.
So this is one of the problems.
Yeah, this is one of those pipelines that they cut through here that, from my understanding of when these oil companies came through here, whatever damage they did to the land they were supposed to fix. Well, these guys did their work, left, and
we have this pipeline, and this allowed the fresh water and the salt water to
Yes, it just keeps opening up more and more. There's so many pipelines running through Delacroix different ways that eventually you just keep opening.
When you look at the map from the 60s to today, it is unbelievable how it is disintegrated, so to speak.
It really has. We fish an island one year and we don't get any hurricanes, no big events, nothing. You go back the next year and the island's not there. You can drive over it and see it, the mud and the motor, so it's still barely a hump, but that'll be gone the next year or two. Once the grass is gone, that's the end of it. This is every stage of coastal erosion that you would see, from a full island to a half of island to down to an island over here who's got 2 lumps of grass left on it, to this one who has nothing on it. When the water's high, it turns into nothing. It'll eventually flatten out from this and turn wide open.
So a few years ago, this was actually solid.
Yes, this was actually an island, what you see right here. This was an island with a bunch of grass on it right here. Once the grass died, it slowly started deteriorating. Now on water's regular height or high, you can't see it. Really, really low water like we have today from the west wind blowing 30, 40 miles an hour, you can actually see it. Like I said, the ones you could see who have 4 or 5 pieces of grass, clumps of grass sticking up on it, that's all you normally see. And once that's gone, it just deteriorates, and it happens very quickly.
But we're seeing with Carnarvon, though, the lake level is rising, the bottom of the lake level is rising, and they're able now to start pump that around to maybe save some of these areas here.
They just only have so much funding for certain areas, and that's where it stopped. They picked certain banks and worked up those banks, and that's where they're at with it.
So now when you have a windstorm, it moves the water a lot faster.
It becomes a big issue with a hurricane. I don't think a lot of people realize how much that marsh buffered these storms that would come hit us. Because we see it all the time. People are like, can y'all fish today? Sure, we can always fish. We're protected.
Right.
But when you lose the protection, you can't fish. And I think that goes the same with the hurricanes. When you lose the protection, they do a lot more devastation.
Randy, you have a really successful fishing charter business here.
Oh, they find us through lacharters.com, la-charters.com. And like I said, the fishing's thriving. You know, there's no doubt the red fishing's phenomenal. But, you know, like we talked about once again, it's just a matter of time. You know, so you might want to come down and enjoy it now.
But if you're coming down from New Orleans to go to a convention, or you're going to be in the quarter and you want to get away and you want to see what's going on, I mean, your lodge, you got a jacuzzi.
We have a full-service lodge that has bartending, housekeeping, general manager, full-time chef.
Shuttle.
You know, shuttle to downtown New Orleans back and forth.
Well, I want to thank you for all you contributing to Louisiana, and we'll be right back.